Bonjour tout le monde! Today we are making our way over to beautiful France, the home of the Eiffel Tower, the Notre Dame, and the Louvre. But we won't be focusing on any of those well-known structures today. Instead, we will be focusing on the scarier side of France, the side that will give you chills and keep you up at night. Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm your host, Lindsay Ivan, and today I'm bringing you the top 10 scary, true, unsolved mysteries from France. Starting off this countdown, we have the stolen work. This mystery revolves around Ernest Hemingway, the well-known American journalist. In 1992, Hemingway's wife Hadley was living in Paris while he was traveling Europe as a reporter. While he was in Switzerland, he wrote to his wife and asked her to join him in Geneva. He also told her to bring with her some of his unpublished manuscripts. So, Hadley packed 4 years' worth of Hemingway's work into a suitcase. Most of the work were originals, not copies. She then boarded the train in Paris and put the suitcase in the luggage compartment. She left for a couple of seconds to get some water, and when she returned, the suitcase was gone along with all his valuable work. Even after getting help searching the train, they were never able to find the suitcase, his work, or the person behind this crime. Moving on to number 9, we have the Marseille Bar Massacre. On October 3rd, 1978, at around 8:10 p.m., 3 armed shooters entered the Bar du Téléphone, in Marseille and killed 10 people. All of the victims were shot in the head. Police believe that the attack was a result of gang rivalry. Now, what's frustrating is that during the investigation, no fingerprints were taken and the crime scene was not properly preserved. They also just let reporters go into the crime scene, which messed up all the evidence. No forensic evidence was discovered except for a couple of casings. The case is still unsolved, and no one has been convicted of this massacre. Coming in at number 8, we have the UFO. This is a bizarre case of 5 people who all claim to have seen a UFO in Hérouville, France. On the morning of January 10th, 1998, 3 friends were headed out to a hunting party. Their 4th friend was following them in their own vehicle. That's when all 4 of them saw a giant disc levitating in the sky that was emitting bright lights. Now, this article was in French, so I did my best to translate it, so if I got any details wrong, I apologize. But apparently, they passed out, and when they regained consciousness, they were at the hunting parking lot where they were planning to meet in the first place. There, they found their other friend waiting for them, who also claims to have witnessed this disc in the sky. In fact, one of the witnesses even suffered from burns to their eyes from staring at the disc's bright lights. It said that 5 witnesses to the same event is extremely rare. To this day, we don't know what truly happened or what it is that these men saw. In our 7th spot, we have the Annecy shootings. The Annecy shootings, also referred to as the French Alps shootings, occurred on September 5th, 2012, near the southern end of Lake Annecy. 3 members of a vacationing family from England, along with a passing cyclist, were shot and killed while touring the area. Now, there has been much debate about this case. Police are still trying to figure out if it was just a random killing or if for some reason the family or cyclist was targeted. Now, someone did point out that one of the victims was a skilled aerospace engineer. The other victim, the cyclist, worked for a French nuclear company. What is the probability that 2 highly skilled engineers were in the same place at the same time? Seems like they may have been targeted for their work. Another theory is that it wasn't a professional killing, but more like someone who just killed for the thrill of it. Either way, the shooter has never been caught. In our 6th spot, we have the Burrell Triangle. Turns out that France has its very own Bermuda Triangle. The Burrell Triangle is a snowy highland area where several unexplained aircraft crashes have occurred. Apparently, more than 60 people have died in unexplainable plane crashes in this area. But that's not all. It's thought that UFOs might be responsible for these crashes. In November of 1943, a Halifax plane crashed in this area. Only 1 person survived. Now, this survivor claims that before the crash, they saw the plane surrounded by, I quote, a multitude of small, multicolored lights. Then in 1963, another plane crash occurred. While this plane went down, witnesses claimed to have seen small pink spheres surrounding the plane. And in 1971, another aircraft went down, killing all 17 of its passengers. However, an extra corpse had been found and never identified. To this day, we don't know what causes these crashes. if UFOs are really responsible for it, and who is the extra body that was found at the scene of the crash. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the skull collection. In 2013, a French diver looking for sea urchins stumbled upon a pile of human bones near a seabed in the French Riviera. The remains are an incomplete set, but there are said to be bones from at least 4 different individuals. One of the more mysterious things is a skull with the words "Death to Pet" written on it in permanent marker. Police don't know what to make of this. It's thought that the bones have been in the water for at least a decade. Out of the bones, one is found to have belonged to 17-year-old Stefan Hurston, who disappeared in 1994. The other parts found were a femur from a male, a humerus from a male and female, a skull, and a part of a jaw. But what's weird is that since the writing was on the skull itself, that means the killer would have had to wait until the body fully decomposed to write this message. We don't know who committed these crimes, where the rest of the body parts are, or who the bones belong to. In our 4th spot, we have Jonathan Coulomb. On April 7th, 2004, 10-year-old Jonathan Coulomb was abducted in the middle of the night while at a camp in western France. 6 weeks later, his body was found. He was found at the bottom of a pond, naked, tied up, and weighed down by cinder blocks. An autopsy revealed that Jonathan was suffocated to death, and then his body was discarded of in the pond. This case remained cold for several years. Now, in April of 2000, a German serial killer did come forward saying he was responsible for killing Jonathan, but police are still investigating these claims. We don't know if this is true, so for now, the case remains unsolved. Moving on to number 3, we have Letitia Torro. On the evening of May 16, 1937, 29-year-old Letitia Torro entered a metro station and boarded the first-class car. She was headed towards central Paris. All the other cars were full, but it was said that the first-class car was empty. The train departed at 6:26 p.m., and 45 seconds later, it arrived to the next stop. That was when Letitia was found murdered. She had a 9-inch dagger in her neck. Yet no one exited the train, and no one was in the car with her. And they acted fast. So the mystery remains. Who killed her? Well, after investigations, police discovered that she actually lived a double life. She was apparently working as a spy for the Parisian detective agency. Her job was to infiltrate La Cajole, a French far-right terrorist group. So theory goes that her cover was blown and was murdered by a member of this group. But we still don't truly know. There has never been any arrest for her murder, and French police files on this case are sealed until 2038. In our 2nd spot, we have the dancing plague. Now, I am truly baffled by this case. In 1518, the citizens of France were plagued by a weird illness. Basically, it caused them to dance uncontrollably and unwillingly for days. This lasted for 2 months until it just randomly stopped. It all started in July of 1518 when a woman named Miss Trophia started to begin dancing. She was unable to stop and kept dancing until she passed out. When she woke up, she continued to dance for days. Then suddenly, this happened to 30 more people. Eventually, around 400 people were a victim of this weird dancing plague. In fact, it killed a couple people per day and injured hundreds. Now, there are a couple theories as to what happened. The first theory is that they were possessed by a demon. The second was that their blood was overheating. And the third, probably the most likely, is that they ate bread made from rye flour that was contaminated with ergot. Ergot is known to cause people to convulse. However, these are only theories. This mysterious case has never been solved. But seriously, doesn't it sound like that creepypasta called The Song and Dance Man? It does. And in our number 1 spot, we have Little Gregory. This case remains France's best known unsolved murder case. On October 16, 1984, 4-year-old Gregory Villman was beside his house playing on a mound of sand. When his mother came out to get him, he was gone. Shortly after, his uncle received an anonymous phone call telling him that Gregory was kidnapped and dumped in the Volon River. It was true. Gregory was found tied up and drowned in this river. After Gregory's death, his parents received anonymous phone calls and hate mail from someone calling themselves Le Corbeau, or the Crow. They threatened getting revenge against the family, especially Gregory's father. Whoever this caller was, they knew private details about the family. To this day, the killer has never been found. And if you want to learn more about this case, then there is a documentary on Netflix called Who Killed Little Gregory? And that's all for today's video. Let's move on to our comment shoutout portion. I'll be shouting out comments for my video, Top 10 Scary Clifford the Big Red Dog Urban Legends Part 2. Noah P. commented, I swear, there's an urban legend for everything, LMAO. Honestly, it's true. For all I know, there's probably an urban legend about me somewhere that I'm actually Siren Head. Captain commented, I'm legit surprised there hasn't been a live-action Clifford movie yet. Well, my friend, you're in for a little treat because there is a live-action Clifford movie currently in works. So, there you go. Corrine Stoll commented, who knew Clifford could be such a scary concept? I didn't. No, I had no clue. And like several years prior to me being on the channel, if you guys told me that I'd be making scary Clifford videos, I'd be like, yeah, okay, and like laugh, but you know. And that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today's video. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Abbott, and I'll see you when I see you.